welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be messing with this little thing right here. Got the challenge of trying to go drag racing at our company's drag race night, and I decided to tear this whole thing apart. Why, I don't know. It was a perfectly good running mini bike, and then I just stripped it all down. Got my clutch over here. I've got some new tools that I needed, spark plugs. Need to do a quick oil change, so I'm throwing some VR1 in it. I think it's 10W, yeah, it's 10W30. So I'll go ahead and set that up here. So please don't mind the mess. It's a one-car garage and I use it as a fab shop. But right now I've got 24mm carb on the 212cc Ghost Predator. Done nothing to the Ghost Predator at all. I put a new plug in, odds and ends. Go Power Sport front forks for, I gotta remember what that is. I'll just put a thing in the video, a little quick blurb. Got the 12-inch ape hangers, and then I've got some custom-made brackets back here that shift the rear tire back. So it's got it pretty low, and I'll put a picture in the video of what it used to look like with the rake and everything on it. So other than that, I'm gonna try to button up the welding on this tonight, get the welds done on the rear plates back here. I do have to figure out the brake caliper a little bit. I'm not sure. I ordered a quad caliper, ATV caliper. See if I can get something going with that. Hopefully I can put that on there. It'll be a little bit easier to make the bracketry, weld it all up. But other than that, let's get into it and see where we can go. I ran out of wire for the welder, so kind of stopped doing that. But I got it pretty well situated. The only problem I'm running into is this gap right here. It's pretty big, and oh, there it is. And this little guy is kind of crooked. So for me to get this to sit flat-ish, I have to kind of sit it like so, and then get brackets to go on that. It won't work well. So the caliper I bought has a bracket that is, actually it'd be built like this. You can see that, there we go. It'd be built like that, so it'd be nice and flat. But I don't have this weird angle on the actual pads there, which will be nice. I'll be able to easily bolt a bracket here, kind of make something to go there. I got this over, just keep some stuff out of it. For now, I gotta swap the front tire out still with the new Sun F tire. I got it sitting outside over there. Not sure if you can see it at all, but I got it sitting outside so that way I can use a little bit of heat and persuasion to get it on. And I do have to make these, oops, didn't mean to step on that. I do have to make these custom for this wheel because I think right now, yeah, that one's a little loose, so I got to put a spacer in there. But I'm going to go ahead and start working on getting the welder back, as I just got some new material. And I'll get this big 10-pounder on there. I don't even know if it'll work though. I just realized that. I guess we'll see. Alright, so I got this little dilemma figured out pretty quick actually. So I took my old spool that was a 2-pounder, and I was lucky enough to have plastic on it, broke the little lip off, and I found out slides right in to the big 10-pounder. Like I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this. It's probably frowned upon, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. I got a mess in here. Actually, I just thought about it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the front tire first. Please excuse the mess I have going on here. This building a trailer, it's kind of here, and it's heavy enough to hold this thing down. So I got this little tire changer from Harbor Freight. One thing I didn't mention, to do these on the little tire changer, you gotta pop the bearings out. I'm planning on replacing the bearings anyways. It's kind of why I have this out. It does kind of help. I still have to basically force the tires on, which isn't a huge deal because they're not really that hard to put on compared to like lawnmower tires. But these tires are pretty dry rotted around the knobs, and it's time for some new ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on getting this put on. The rear ones were interesting. I had to take the rubber piece out, or off of the top here, to get it in there. I think you can just push it over. Like you could just push the tire onto it and it'll be fine, but I had some issues with that. And just a forewarning that will scratch your wheels if you do it that way. So, not the best option if you don't want to do it that way. Well, did I put that in there? No. Alright, so this one might go a little bit smoother than the back one, just because I can actually get this thing on it. This is going to be kind of a tire tutorial, so first things first, pop the valve out using a valve stem tool. There's some other tricks online like pliers and some other weird ones. I personally just bought a $1 tool. I think you can get them on Amazon for like $2. So once all the air is out, I got this little doodad and I've got it set up for these tires already. And I'm gonna have to kind of do this out of sight of the camera just because I'm on this side. There's one bead. Nice and easy. It's really what I use this tool for, is just breaking the beads out. And like I said, these tires are pretty simple. I think I could probably push them off by hand. Yeah, I don't feel like stabbing myself in the chest. Oops, didn't mean to drop that. Hydration. That's the key part of this operation. Alright, bead number 2 is out. Don't lose that. Whoop. Yeah, this is where the soapy water comes in handy. Yeah, these tires are shot. Now, can I get up under here? Oh, I'm not very good at this. Come on, get it in there. I know you can do this. I've watched a YouTube video or 2 on these. Come on, get up under there. There we go, without mashing my fingers. You're supposed to be able to use that tool to put these on. I have never been that lucky. So I'm gonna look, my valve stem's down here. Beads are pretty clean, surprisingly. The phone is going off like crazy. So I want valve stem on the right side. Yeah, so I want them like that. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and lube these up. Try not to get a bunch of soap inside. Try this. This thing is supposed to work like this. Like I said, I haven't had good luck with this piece, or this tool here, especially on the beads. I may be using it wrong though, I don't know. You gotta be kidding me, I just figured out how to use it. All that struggling, and I lost my beer for no reason. Well, I guess try that first before you try to manhandle the tire and spill your beer everywhere. So, now the fun part. Need to pop the bead back on. So go ahead and put your valve stem back in. Once I get this back in, I'm going to go fire up the air compressor so that I can bring it over here. Fresh camera battery, fresh beer, and some fresh bearings. So we're going to go ahead and put these in. One other thing, if you don't have the tire tools, I believe this is a 6-inch vise. I'd have to measure it, but the jaws will open up to accommodate these tires, and you can press the beads off with the vise. It wouldn't be that hard. I just choose to not, because I have the tool, so I'm going to use it. And as you saw, apparently putting it on was really nice and easy. So what I'm going to try to do here, so I don't damage my wheels, is I'm going to try to get this to sit right on the inside of this bearing cup. It doesn't matter, it's going to hit the wheel anyways. Well, if you don't care about your wheels, sit them in the vise so that they work. If you care about your wheels, probably put down a piece of wood or something to sit these on. I'm eventually just going to make a jig for them because I have a feeling I'm probably going to do a bunch of these for friends and other people. Also, I ended up getting for the Doodlebug DB30, I went with the PGN bearings, and they're the 6201RS bearings. If it's a stock wheel, I'm not 100% certain it's stock, so don't quote me on the part numbers here. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of insight. Grab my overkill hammer and just tap around. I should be using a bearing tool, but she still rolls, and I was pretty easy with it, so that's what I was afraid of. There we go. Oh, no damage, okay. So, one thing I did forget the last time I did this was, don't forget your spacer. This sits inside of here so that you can guide your rods through it, and it gives, I believe it gives extra strength between the bearings and keeps them from blowing out. Not 100% certain. That's just my engineering logic behind it. I'm trying to think of a good reason why they have it. Maybe I'll run a wheel one of these days without it and see what happens. But the last set of tires I did for a friend, I forgot it, and I had to rip these bearings back out, and I destroyed them getting out. Cool. Seated, still turns. And just to show you, so this is my vise. I'm gonna get it all the way open, almost. And I could press this in, and I could actually debead the tire with just this vise, just by turning this. I'm not gonna do it, obviously, but I am. The easy way that I was told to get these bearings out, because I have a few different tools. You know, I have a punch that goes right in here. The hard part is trying to get a good straight shot on it. So hopefully you can see there's just a little tiny lip right there. So I'm going to try to do this as easy as I can. Actually, I'll do it from this side. See if this will work. So I'm going to go from the back now and do the same thing. So like I said, it comes right through. What I found was a video online, and I ground this down so it fits in there nice and tight. I've got it pulled up on the back, pushing down, Now I'm going to jam my screwdriver in here, and it's basically going to hold this punch down for me, and then I come over here and I start beating on it with the hammer to knock them out. Once you get one out, it's pretty self-explanatory. You get that out, get a bigger punch, beat the other side out. Please ignore my messy desk. Between the trailer, the mini bike, the lawnmower projects, all that stuff, it's a mess in here. I'm eventually going to get it clean. Probably not this week though. So with that, I'm going to move on to putting this tire up on the front axle, seeing if I can't get the rear plates welded up, get the rear or the front forks and everything tightened up pretty good, and see where else I can go with it. Alright, so the only real reason why I'm putting this on is when that seems a little loose. When I take that rear tire off, I want to have something up here to help guide it around, and it's not just rolling around on the ends of these. Plus, this is pretty much set, so I can go ahead and torque it in place. And then I can figure out what I need for the spacers on the wheel. Go ahead and go, wait a minute. Yeah, I want this one on this side, I think. So go ahead and throw this up in here. Yeah, here we go. No, that's a bad idea. Should have thought this through. This is why I'm young, right? Alright, I have a better idea. Instead of trying to manhandle everything, let's just manhandle it once. There's the other one. Nice. Alright. Oh, there she goes. I think really I just need to adjust one of these sides. Yeah, I just need to add a little bit on one of them. I probably do have a spacer somewhere for that. Alright, she's on there. Maybe I can pick some of this stuff up so stop stepping on it so much.